motion. Well, it's the same thing with the left hand. If this is the string we're hammering on to, you want to feel that the whole finger is moving down to the string like this. If the hand is too far away, then you have to straighten and move up to the hammer-on, okay? And you're not using the whole finger effectively. On the guitar, that looks like this. If you're too low, and you have to move up like that, first of all, we can't feel the arm kicking in to help us hold the finger down when we do that. But also, the finger's straightening to the string instead of keeping its curvature. So the proper way is to start from, let me do it with the fourth finger so you can see it a little better. Instead of starting from below, like that, we want to start with it just slightly above. Not too curled, because that's, again, too much of an extreme. Nicely curled, but above the string, and the whole finger moves down. Okay, so let's try this. We'll start with with the first finger going to the second finger. You want to move nice and accurately. Just throw the finger down, and as soon as it hits, relax it. Now let's go 2, 3. And 3, 4. Now how about 1, 3, 2, 4. Okay, see how that works? Okay, now the pull-off is the opposite of the hammer-on in that you start with one finger and pull off to the next. Now the term pull-off I think is not such a great term because a lot of people get the feeling that it's an aggressive motion. It's more like a yank off than a pull-off. And you hear a lot of people getting a sound like that slappy sound. Well, that's caused by not being in the right position to do a pull-off. And it's exactly the same as what we talked about in the right hand. If we think again about this being the string that we're doing the hammer on, if we land correctly on this side of the string, then in order to do the pull-off, we just continue in that direction, like this. Okay, but if we've landed like this, then we've got to change direction in the finger, and that yanks the string up and gets a slappy sound. Okay, so it's even more important with the pull-off to feel that you're on this side of the string slightly. Your finger's nice and curved, and you just continue in the same direction, as opposed to. Also, a good thing to think about with pull-offs is exchange of weight. When you always want to have the support finger, in other words, the finger you're pulling off onto, down, but it shouldn't be really pushing. When you're ready to pull off, the second finger should have the pressure, and then at the moment you pull off, the arm kicks in the weight of the first. So it's exchange of weight from second to first. And that way, this is a very relaxing motion instead of being a very aggressive motion. Let's try some pull-off exercises. We're going to go 2, 1, 2. And now 3, 2. And 4, 3. And let's do 3, 1. And 4, 2. So you get the idea. Now, the final consequence of all this is a sort of compound slur, which is a hammer-on followed by a pull-off. And it's the same exact thing I've been talking about, which is if the hammer-on comes from above and the pull-off continues that motion, then it's just one motion. It's do-yum, 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 instead of do-yum, do-yum. Okay, this way we're changing direction in the finger. So if we put this on the guitar, if you start from above, you can actually. This is a very fast motion because there's only one motion going on. I'm just stopping on the string. But if I go, that's two motions. And we'll do 2, 3, 3, 4. Whoops. Okay, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, now the final consequence of that is the trill. Trill is just a continuous compound slur. On, off, on, off. And if you use these same principles, trills will be much easier. A lot of people get really tight in trills, and they can't crescendo through a trill. If you always get the feeling that you're resetting the finger above the string, relaxing it as soon as it's done, it's easy to keep trills going. It's good to practice it dotted first. And then, okay. Well, something like that. You get the idea. So those are the principles that you practice these with. There's also one kind of trill that's really nice to know. It's a good technique to know. It combines the idea of the contraction and expansion thing we were talking about and this compound trill. And that is trilling with 2 and 3. We're going to go expand, contract. See how I'm alternating? 3, 2, 3, 2. And because the fingers are sharing the burden, you can get it going pretty fast. Also looks real cool, you know. So.